Robbo on the road. You all know that because you're all looking at the YouTube video. I'm with the incredibly snoggable and adorable Tracey Abbott, and she's now going to go bright rouge to match the lipstick, but there's an in-joke there. For those of you that read both the Buzz Recruitment Media Monday and the Recruitment Media blog, you'll know I've become and have been involved for a long time in the whole kind of issue of disability and helping disabled people get back into the workplace. Earlier on this year, I was coerced, muscled, beaten up by Tracey to join a fantastic group, and I wish I'd known about it earlier, called the Employers Forum for Disability. So my first simple question to Tracey is exactly what you're all expecting. What is the Employers Forum for Disability?
Hi Keith. EFD is a charity organisation that's been going since 1991. It's business-led. We have over 400 members, some of which include the largest employers in the UK. So our membership actually covers over 20% of the workforce of the United Kingdom. So we've got a lot of clout. We have companies such as Barclays, BBC, we have PwC, we have Ernst & Young, you name it, and Tesco as being one of the largest employers in the UK in total. What we aim to do is to change the way employers recruit candidates that are talented but happen to have a disability. We give best practice that's called upon by the World Health Organization, by companies all around the globe, and we have a global network that's started. We have a number of different types of membership, from standard membership, which is a paltry 2,750 quid, where you basically have a helpline that can assist you with anything to do with your business around disability and the recruiting of disabled talent. We have gold membership, which is a lot more money, at nearly £20,000, but that means you're entitled to join our task force on accessible technology, where we have people like Oracle, SAP, Fujitsu joining, Adobe, all sorts of people are joining with us to help make accessible technology work for people with disability. So it's an exciting organisation.
Question which wasn't one of the ones I mentioned earlier on, but I get quite a varied range of people both looking at the YouTube platform we post this on and on my own sites. What is the definition of disability?
That is quite a tough one. There is no clear definition under the DDA, the Disability Discrimination Act. It will soon be the Equality Act as of October, although there are issues around which bits of the Act are going to be enacted in October and which bits will be held back. But basically, the DDA defines anybody that has a long-term illness or who has had a long-term illness or disability as disabled. The safest thing to do, if you're in any doubt whatsoever if a member of staff may have a disability or somebody who's applying to your company may have a disability, is to treat them as if they have. And best practice is to say, what can we do to make your experience of the recruitment process as pleasant and as successful as we possibly can. That's best practice across the board.
Something I've learned, and I, like most mere mortals, look at disability and you look at wheelchair disability or physical or facial disfigurement. In other words, I think it's referred to as visibly impaired.
For sure.
Stress is also defined,
yep,
actually as a disability.
Yes. So
can you give me a couple of those ones that people don't necessarily think about? Because
sure.
I think we all focus on wheelchair.
Yep.
And
there's
that becomes
actually very few wheelchair users.
Yeah.
But they are the visible end, along with people who are blind with guide dogs. Non-visibles are going to be things like diabetes. It's going to be Asperger's or the ASD spectrum. It's going to be dyslexia or dyspraxia, all of which can affect an employee's performance, but not their talent. Things like dyslexia, for example, simple adjustments like printing off information on yellow paper to give a better contrast could be all that somebody needs to perform better in your company. So we try and encourage people to be as open as possible about their disability so that their company can help them be the best employee they can be.
Now, I didn't know about yellow paper, never heard of that one, and I'm actually dyslexic.
Oh, there you go.
Didn't know it. So, to give you a little plug, and we're going to give you lots of plugs, I know you have a great site with loads of information on it. So
sure.
What's the URL of the site?
It's www.efd.org.uk.
And I've looked at it and there is some great advice, great help and great tips. Now, one of the initiatives that you've been personally working on, I should say, Tracey actually is one of us in the recruitment industry. She actually used to run a large IT recruitment consultancy, one that I used to do business with. So Tracey, shall we say, comes from our side of the fence.
The dark side.
The dark side.
The dark
I
side.
wasn't going to say it, but yes, the dark side. You've been doing some work which I think is brilliant. It's going to frighten some people around the Charter. I'll put some music behind this, and suddenly we had Darth Vader-esque type music.
Very good.
What is, one, the Charter, and of course, why are you bringing it out, which links to the new app that is being talked about for October? So, the Charter.
Okay, the Charter is 2 sets of 10-point commitments that we're looking for both our members, the employers, and recruitment company suppliers to sign up to. They're nothing to be scared about. We're not saying to recruitment agencies, all of a sudden you need to know everything about disability. What we would like to say to agencies is, we would like you to look at coming on the journey with us to becoming disability confident so that you can help our members recruit the people that they want to recruit. So for recruitment companies, this is very much an opportunity to make more money, to get more money in your bin by providing our members with the staff that they want. Now, there are no quotas with regards to recruitment around disability. They were dismissed, I think, something like 1945. Having said that, of our 400 members, there's not one of them that isn't talking to me about recruiting people with disability now in this tight market. So there's a great deal of opportunity for recruitment companies to learn more about how to handle candidates that come across their different portals, their different methods of applying for jobs who may have a disability, to put them forward to companies and actually make more money. From the other side of the fence, we're asking our members to embed the commitment into their recruitment processes and their procurement. So they actually become a weighted system when it comes to procuring recruitment services. So rather than, you know, 50-50 on cost versus the various aspects that they want a recruitment company to provide them with, disability will become a heavily weighted point thing.
Yep, gotcha. So question,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to be very clear because I don't know the answer to this. Under the new Act,
Mm-hmm.
does the end employer
Yeah.
have a legal requirement to ensure that the supplier of talent or labour
Mm-hmm.
has and is doing what you have described? Is it a legal requirement?
It actually is now, Keith. A lot of our employers don't realise that if agencies, through a lack of knowledge, get it wrong, that they have a shared liability with the agency. And agencies aren't aware that they could be sued under the Act as well. And that's already in existence under the DDA now. So it's really important, as well as being a money spinner, that agencies understand that this is what their clients are expecting from them.
So actually what you're doing is you're taking an existing legal requirement, which I have to
Yeah.
confess, with all my experience, I wasn't aware of that, and I think this is where messaging
I've
gets
only
lost.
found out in the last year. Yeah.
Okay, and you come from the dark side
That's
yourself.
right, that's right.
So number one, there is already a legal requirement both for a recruitment consultancy,
Mm-hmm.
but equally for the client who has put that assignment with that consultancy to adhere by the Act.
Yes.
What your charter is a voluntary code of conduct that takes that, shall we say, to a level that now puts it in very clear what is expected from one, the organisation
Mm-hmm.
who is doing the hiring, and from the recruitment consultancy who is working on behalf of that organisation to find great talent.
For sure. Yes.
Do you want to run I'm going to be putting alongside this video the Act, shall we say, or not the Act, your charter on the site.
Yeah.
Are there particular elements of the charter that you'd be happy to talk about now?
I think the main thing for recruitment companies to look at is how accessible their internet is, their internet site and their websites. One of the biggest issues for any company, let alone a recruitment company, is that they had these sites designed some time ago. They're all whizzy, singing, dancing, moving about, embedded images, which are very difficult for a lot of people with disability, particularly non-visible disabilities, to actually read and apply to. So actually you're cutting off quite a proportion of the talented market out there because they just can't access your website.